Well, good evening. Today the Who's are on at Wyong, downtown Wyong. The uh, the track was good. The rail was 3 metres out from the 1350 to the 210, where the cutaway came into play, and there was a solid southerly behind them up the straight all day. Uh, Down the side at Wyong, they've got plenty of tree cover, and it didn't affect any leaders. Um, the uh, the track played fair, and it was an absolute strip out for the captains. 8 races, 7 Averys, 7 favourites out of the 8 races, and the race where we got the result, the second pick won it, and the betting in that race, that was the third race where Gerald Ryan had the two picks. We put them up uh, more or less 5-4 a pair. Um, Non-Avera and Paint the Town. I'll get to it later on. And the second pick won the race. Anyway, the first race, there was 103.5 on the screen in the marketplace, 196 in the marketplace, and this was Mr. Waller had he had 2 runners in this race, the winner and also which was Pay TV #1 and Happy Jones #4, and the winner sat back in fourth hole on a good solid pace set by Bugner, who ran stone last, beaten 17.7 lengths. It went fairly ordinary, Bugner, and getting there on well, moving up 3 wide on the turn was the winner outside the leaders, and even though hanging in a bit in the straight, it was able to win by about a neck or a long head. We put it up 7-4. Second pick got out to $3.20, $2.70, $2.80 out to $3.30 taken, into $3.10, back out to $3.20, and See You Saturday. We put it up favourite at around about evens, and it was extremely hard to lay. It went from $2 out to $3.30, and as I say, it was hard to lay. The best back runners in the race were the horse that ran last, Bugner, $12 given, and he started 7.50, and Happy Jones, a stablemate of the winner, with an $8.50, and only started 7. And that was about your race. All the other couple of runners got out in the market. It was no good. Race 2. Here we saw the Avery get in here. Able Friend. We put it up 5-4, $2.25, 5-4 the field, and it was reached for by the captains. There were 4 captains on the fence today, and two of us in the outer, and it got to $2.80 this runner, and it was taken into $2.40 at one stage, got back out to $2.50 towards the death, and it beat the second pick. Which was #2, Pretty Gully. Both of them ran at Rose Hill last start. Pretty Gully winning, and Able Friend running second. Able Friend's run was very good last start, along with Pretty Gully. We put Pretty Gully up $3.50, reached for it, got to $4.60, only started $3.80. There was a late scratching at the barrier. Now, before the scratching of the 50-1 chance Cultural Dancer at the barrier, there was 109.9 on the screen. In the marketplace, we only got the neat 100. And as I say, after giving $2.80 and into $2.40 at one stage, back out to $2.50, it was hard to escape, and it was another losing race for the captains. In race 3, 108.4 on the screen, only 97, losing figures again, 97% only given. And this race was won by, as I say, when I was talking earlier, the stablemate to the favourite. Gerald Ryan had Non-Avera, who was a good run at Gosford, that's only starting the race, and it was turned out to be a very good form race. Style came out of that race, plus a couple of other runners have done very well, and it sat midfield on a fairly good pace, being trapped wide, and the race was a 100-1 chance #2, Hallifield Road, which was backed at one stage from 100s into 40s, but got back out to about 80-1 towards the death. And the stablemate, the winner, Paint the Town, it was in front. It was sitting in 4th position coming down the side. And when the stablemate moved up on the outside of Paint the Town, and when Vero moved up on the outside of it, the Father Schofield on the winner was able to move up to the leaders wide. And when Jason Collette on Paint the Town tried to go, there wasn't anything there, and it was very disappointing in the run home. It got beat about 4.5 lengths, and we put them up more or less 5 to 4 a pair, and it got to, you wouldn't see it on the screen, but of course Nonavero, it got to $3 back into 280, and Paint the Town went from 225 out to $2.70 or 80, and it only started, was $2.40 favourite when they jumped. And well, it all depends which way you went there. If you gave $3, it was hard to escape winning on the race. The figures were no good. You might see you don't see what we see at the track. Bar the pair, it was $9 bar the pair. Roulette, Prince second, third favourite, and the fourth favourite, Our Reply, it went from $8 out to 15. Label at one stage at $12, but it started 15. The winner, the best run. Race 4, there was the 4 runners went around, and the screen was exactly right. No one wanted to play here. It was 108. There was 108% on the screen, and that's what we gave in the marketplace. We put it up. We said, well, have your 5 for 1. Have your 5 for 1. They wouldn't lay the 5 for 1 on. We reached for it. We got it to $1.26 towards the finish. Around about your 4 to 1 on. Well, take your 4 to 1. And I think it could have been laid on in certain quarters. The number 2 on the race was First Class Ticket. It was $8 out to $12, back into 10, but back out to 12 towards death. And the second favourite, Ruby Love, who went terrible, got beat 13 lengths. It went from $4 out to $6.50. And the roughie of the field, Wayne's World, it went from $18 out to 21. The Avery went straight to the front. It won by 6 lengths. It'd be nice, the 4 to 1 on. The $1.26 was good odds now. It won like a, I suppose, it won like a dead set 10 to 1 on chance, or even shorter. Race number 4, on the screen you saw there was 106% in the marketplace, positive figures, but around about 102. And I had a terrible result on this race. Night Moves. It drew the outside alley, a barrier 8 in a field of 8. And I must admit, I didn't think it would be able to cross. I thought there was enough speed inside it, but that great rider, Proper Peter Roble, he, after they'd gone about a half a furlong, he gave it a dig in the Joe Phibbs, and it accelerated, and he was able to get across to the lead and find the fence very, very easily. And at one stage, he was at least 3 lengths clear, or even a little bit more. And coming to the turn, chasing him all the way, was the second horse, Anjo, and it was full bore chasing him. But when they straightened up, he was tight against the fence on the winner, and got to maybe 4 off by the time they got to the winning post. And yeah, I think the caller, who's a very astute caller, the fellow who called there today, he's got 100 yards on some of the others. He called the second horse the winner, and everybody looking at the live action on the screen or live thought that the outside bobbed, but it wasn't to be. One nose was up and one nose was down, and the Avery Night Moves, it got the chocolates. We put it up $2.50 Night Moves, but we reached for it, especially me. I got it to $3.20. I might have given $3.30 for something, but only for a small prize. But plenty at $3.20 and $3.10 and $3. And as I say, it was a bad result. When they hit the line, there was only 2.8 lengths between the 8 runners. It got trapped 3 wide in the run, number 2, Patapinda. And with a little bit of luck, it's only been beaten about 1.2 lengths. If it would have been able to slot in and not get trapped wide on the limb from barrier 4, there's a chance it could have gone close to winning. Anyway, that was what happened. Race 7, there was 110.4, very good for the robots everywhere, on the screen, but in the marketplace there was only a skinny 101. And who won this race? Senor Montoya. You wouldn't see it on the screen, but there was $3.50 given about this. 5-2 the field we gave. We put it up $2.50, but it was quickly reached for. We were having an absolute black day. We'll try and get out here, we said. We reached for the favourite, got to $3.50, and ridden by Sean Lindsay. I think that's his first name. He was able to find the lead. I knew it would be near the lead, but I didn't think it'd be able to find the lead as easy as it did. But it did. Senor Montoya found the lead with the puppy dog on its outside. Pup ran last, beaten 12 lengths. And when he did get to the lead, he was able to get a very easy middle section. And this race was only a 600-metre race, even though the form guide said 1,600 metres, because when they got to the 600, that's when Lindsay, he said, let's go now, and it accelerated. Didn't get a big break, but as I say, it was only a sprint home. He got a lovely middle section, and it was able to hang on and beat like a star, locally trained, ridden by Catward Corey Brown, who came from about 7th position midfield, taking off, of course, when they sprinted. We'll go now, 600-metre race, and he failed by the half a length. I thought coming down the side when there was no pace on, if a few of the back markers might have taken off when they swung into that section down the side, and they might have been able to catch the winner, but it wasn't the case. He got too easy a run. And as I say, we bet $3.50 and only started the $3. But every runner, most of the runners, the bottom one was $101 when they jumped, but I did lay every other runner in the race. But I got something out of the bottom one at $101. Most probably only returned 40 or 50, but I was 101 and got something out of it. But anyway, you were able to. There was one runner that was very hard to lay that was in the market, and that was Jara Lee, number 11. It went from $5.50 to $8, and I must admit I didn't strike it, but I did lay all of the others. But unfortunately, the winner was by far the worst way. We came to the last. Now, there's been 7 races, 6 Averys, and a second pick. And the second pick, as I said, it was easy to lose on it. And in the last race, here we are. We stepped up and we offered you 100. On the screen it was 110.8, but in the marketplace, only 101. I'll go through it very quickly for you. This is what was given. Del Rommel went up $11 into about $9. Gentleman Joe, it went up the same, about $11 into about $9. Inside Job, the winner, we put it up $2.50. We reached for it. We got it out to $3.50. 5-2 the field, Inside Job, and it only started $3. Hard to get. The next runner didn't have a price. Galator, it went from $8 out to $11. Likewise, the next runner, Chasm Warrior, didn't have a price. It went from $15 out to about $20. Saphira, I own the lead. It went straight to the lead. Saphira ran last. It went up $5. What price did it start? It started at $9. It was 4-1, $5 out to $9. Destiny's Chant Dance was $16 to 1 chance out to 31. Keltoy, bit of money for it. I was $6 when they jumped, but it was $5.50 out to $6.50, back into $5.50, back to $6 at the finish. The next pair was scratched. Number 11, Suzanne, would have been a great result for the captains. It was a $16 chance, 15 to 1 out to $21. He protested. He got beat the half a length, and the protest was dismissed. The winner came out slightly in the run about the 50-metre mark, 675-metre mark, but it was always never going to be upheld. Was meant to be. It was $21 out to 26, and look, not that it means anything, but Carnegie Royal, they returned at $30. It's just 3 and a bit percent, and they returned the bottom one, Prince of Thunder, 50 to 1, 2%. Well, there you got about 8 and a bit percent in the market. Well, I was 100 to 1 Carnegie Royal, and I was $401 Prince of Thunder, and I got a little bit out of each of them, but a little bit of difference there to the SPs. So you can see that the 110.8, it's all a myth. But anyway, this race was run this way. Going straight to the front was Saphira. I owned the lead from Current Bun. It had the inside alley. And sitting on the south side was Gentleman John from Barrier 2. It had the deuce. And it was out on the south side. And up outside, 3 wide of the pair was the winner, ridden by, I said, I thought I made a mistake last night when I was doing the Gosford review, the Leicester Grace. This young apprentice, he's a very good rider, right, in my opinion, and he was 3 wide outside that pair, and by the time they got to the turn, they got along a bit, because there was about when they're at the 600 metre mark, a good 3.5 to 4 lengths to Chasm Warrior, and with Dal Rommel on us inside, and by the time they got to the turn, he'd shaken off the other pair, and as I said earlier, it ran last. Saphira, and he was able to get past them and get a good break, 2.5 length, two lengths break, and coming from just past midfield and swooping up very quickly on the bend, getting around Carnegie Royal, the 100 to 1 chance, was the second horse, Suzanne. Looked like for a stride or two that it would have run down the leader down, but it wasn't able to, even though the winner came out a bit under pressure and maybe cost him a little bit. He wasn't able to, as I say, catch the favourite, and it was a strong wing. Well, that was the program. It was an absolute strip out, blackout, you name it what you want to call it. But if you're booking there today, it was extremely hard to win. Extremely hard to win. I had an absolute blackout there, and we'll see what happens. Well, there's, of course, there'll be a couple of meetings on tomorrow. We'll see what happens at Rose Hill on Saturday. Good evening.